Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, and welcome to those who have joined us. Good morning, Aleš. How are you?
Fine. Getting
Hi.
used to European time.
European time again. Yes, that's right. So, is that 6 hours different? No, it'd be more from Salt Lake
And
City.
8 or 7 when
Yeah,
the daylight time changed.
right. That's right. Yes, Aleš and I were both at Roots Tech in Salt Lake City past week, so that's why we couldn't do it on Wednesday because we were both in the air when we would have been on the air. So that just wouldn't have worked out very well for
And
either of
it's
us.
not allowed to use streaming on airplanes. So,
No, they don't let you do streaming, any type of streaming.
although
So,
I don't know why, but
well,
they
yeah,
don't. Probably they don't want. Hello,
that's right.
can you hear me on the
Yeah. Oh
airplane?
my goodness. Plus the sound of the airplanes themselves, they're so loud.
Oh, but it isn't. I had noise canceling
Yeah,
headphones
I
this
need to
time,
get some of
and
those.
that's really good. I
Yeah,
was in silence for 10 hours, and
were you?
I was sitting at the back of the plane, so where the engines are really loud, so
Mm, yeah,
completely cancels it out.
that's right. Yeah. Well, we really enjoy. Well, yeah, I was
Mhm.
gonna say we, but I definitely, speaking for myself, I really enjoyed our.
Well, you can also speak for me.
I can. Yeah, that's right. We really enjoyed our time in Salt Lake City
Mm.
and Roots Tech and meeting other WikiTreeers in April. So that was the Mountain State. I didn't realize that Utah is called the Mountain State. Um, but yeah, did you come by the booth and say hi? I don't remember meeting you in April. You should have. Because I think getting into the exhibit hall, it was free, even if you didn't go to the
Mhm.
convention itself. But anyways, it was a great time there. It was nice to meet some new WikiTreeers and some other WikiTreeers that we've known for a while, and putting faces to names. But
To see them again.
what's that?
To see them again.
And to see them again. That's right. Yes, it was great. It was great. So we have Anne Fiordalisi, and April is here in the chat with us. Ravonda is here. How you doing? So yeah. So now we've decided that we would go ahead with the 9 o'clock, which is the time we always said we were going to start. We didn't change the time on YouTube. And I don't think now that we've hit start, I can't go back and change that. So some people may join us at 10, thinking that we're just about to begin, and we'll probably be just wrapping.
Yeah, in Europe didn't change the time, so for us it's 2 o'clock now.
So it's the same time as ever.
Mhm. No,
Or is it?
it's
Or is it earlier?
usually we have it at 3. We are
Oh,
now hour earlier online.
okay.
That's why I wasn't prepared because I thought I had
Oh
another
no, no.
hour.
Well, I mean, we could have done it. We could. I mean, we could have just gone with
Later.
the time that
Oh,
you. Oh, well. We're here now.
we can do it now and extend it into next hour if there
Yeah.
will be some. But actually, US changed the daylight saving,
Yes,
right?
U.S. and Canada have changed.
Okay, so just
Mhm.
for Europe, it's a problem.
Just for us. Yeah. There we go. So Tia, Veg Beauty asks, I don't know how to use the new WikiTree. Is there a demo video link someone can drop? Well, our focus is going to be on Ask Aleš. But if we're visiting some profiles, that'll be some bonus today. But I am planning on demoing the new WikiTree and doing some stuff about that on the Saturday roundup. So if you want to,
There is also a G2G post where we collect hints on where the things that people used to use are not located now. So I think it was started yesterday, and it's things are added into it.
Oh, that's a good. Let me just. Where's our G2G?
Julie prepared it, I think. It's linked from the main
The WikiTree.
The new
Oh, here we go. Need
here.
help? There we go. Okay, so let me share my screen. I've got that up now. I didn't see that yesterday. Thank you.
Well, it was yesterday afternoon, so probably. And you don't read again the main post.
No, that's right. You read it once, and then and depending on when you start reading it, some of them are very positive, and then some are, oh, I hate this. It's all too much, So there, too much scrolling.
Well, that will be fixed. I mean, we are working on it.
Yeah. And you know what? I think Chris said this in one of his posts about the new WikiTree design, is that it's a work in progress, and think of and consider this week especially is more of an advanced beta run. I mean, we've had testers working on it or playing with it and stuff. I've been playing with the new design, but mostly focusing on the tree apps and making sure that they still work, or at least the ones that I'm responsible for.
Well, all the leaders had access to the preview, but okay, they did check it, but not. I mean, we did fix a lot of things in advance, but now with the final launch, it really.
Sometimes you just need a lot of people using it before you actually see all the.
This is definitely the most read answered post. We already have 600 answers.
That's incredible. Yeah,
it's quite a logistic problem for the team members to go through all the complaints and everything to see if there is a problem. They just like it, they just don't like it. So yesterday we organized a procedure how to address everything so that we can stay on top of it. Because it's 6 of us reading it. Someone is replying to some messages, and it's really complicated to know what was done, what wasn't. So if you think your post was overlooked, it's best to post it again, or maybe so it get again to the list at the end. So because the end is checked. This is 30 pages of with 20 posts per page. It's 30 pages of posts. So it's really hard to check everything. And if someone writes a comment somewhere in between, nobody sees that.
Right.
Usually.
So so Julie, this is the post that Aleš was talking about. So Julie has put together this, and here's the list of the common things that people have been looking for and where to find them. So Tia said, so I should just take a hiatus for a couple of weeks. I don't think that's necessary. I would rather you stay and play with it and whatnot. But if you're the type of person,
everything is working. So
everything is working. Yes, it just we've just shuffled the deck, rearranged the furniture a little bit. There is a lot more white space. So.
But you can use Zoom. Actually, there were many cases where people complained about the white space, but it was because before they had at 115 or 120%, because the WikiTree was bigger, and with the new design, it was really huge.
Oh yes, that's true.
So first thing to check is if you have a zoom factor set to 100% before you complain about the spacing.
That's right. Make sure your zoom is at the right level. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Now, what I was going to say is, I would say you don't have to take a hiatus, but if you're the type that this is going to drive you crazy and be more frustrating and have a negative experience overall, if that's your personality type, then yeah, sure, if that's what you need to do. But please, come back to us. So Anne asked what's going on with my apps. So all of the apps are working. The fan chart, I've been actually tweaking it and adding some. Well, I've added a few new features to it, and some of the other apps I've added some new features too. And the fan chart, I noticed that in the outer rings, when you get past 6 generations, there was some wonky stuff that was happening already that I was kind of ignoring. So now I'm finally buckling down and addressing that. So so yeah, they should all work. As far as I know, there may be some. There's a lot of apps, and I don't program all of them. But if there are others that are not working for you, I could always pass it on to whoever the programmer is if you don't know.
Well, actually, all the developers had access to the new site 2 or 3 weeks in advance, I think. So they had time to correct all the programming so that it worked okay on the new site. Also, I think Visual Browser, WikiTree browser extension is being published a few times a day, an update.
Yes.
So there are probably some things that don't work, but programmers are working on that. So it should be, in a few days, everything should be smooth.
That's right, yeah. Good morning, Alan. Yes, the YouTube had the wrong time on, so we went with what the right time was, and so sorry about Alan for we're just getting started, so you haven't missed any Ask Aleš business.
Yeah, we are still at the WikiTree.
Yeah, we're still here. We're live. We're live, Anne.
So
we're not going for 2 hours. We're just going to go for an hour or so.
if you have a problem with the new site and you're using Visual Browser, WikiTree browser extension, turn it off.
Yes,
because that will show the actual intention of how the site should look.
Right.
So if without Visual Browser, no, I don't think you should. Don't change those. It will just reset your settings. You can. You should. You should go into extension and turn and disable the extension. So
go into here,
manage extensions, and turn it off here at the bottom.
Okay.
So
there.
Here you disable it, and then look at the site if it is still. If the problem you want to complain about is still there, and if it's not, then it's an extension problem. So you should post it to Ian. I think I don't know if there is a thread opened for. I think it is for extension
he posted
problems.
a thread on Monday. Yeah.
So those should be posted there. Although even if it's posted in the main thread, I think Ian is also checking that, and Rob and others.
Right.
So, but this is really a huge thread. So
well, yeah, that
might get overlooked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it is hard to know which, if you're a common user of the WikiTree browser extension, it's hard to know where where the interplay is, right? So yeah, turning it off to see what it looks first like. Yeah. Yeah. I do like the ability to hide different things. And it does give a little more white. It does give a little more white space. I do like the design, actually. I've gotten used to. But I understand people who want more, like the cram more. Myself, when I've designed websites, not here, but other times, I've always tried to cram as many features in as much screen space as I can. But I know that that's not common among web designers.
Now it's actually more organized. Now under your picture here is a bar with all the navigation. So these are all quick jumps to part of the profile. So if you click to photos, it will move you directly to there, and the bar,
And it
that
stays
line
there,
stays
too.
at the top, so you have access to it all the time. So it's really easy to see categories, matches, whichever section you are interested in.
And look at that. And categories, if you look at categories, which was, by default at the very bottom, it took forever to scroll down to there. And if you have comments, like, guess I'm popular. I've got lots of comments on my thing. So that's a lot of...
that's another thing that will be changed. We didn't do that in the initial release, but now people with hundreds of comments, my page also has 150 comments, and I don't hide them or delete them because it's just too much work. So this will be changed, and it will show only last 10 comments, and then you will have a button to expand if you will want to see more.
Oh, that's nice.
To reduce the page size.
Yeah. You know what? I saw that under the... like I saw this header bar, but I hadn't actually played with it until just now when you just told me to click.
Well, you have also those 3 images. You can jump to descendants, ancestors on the left. Left of the biography. These are also quick links. And on the right, you have a possibility to edit profile and up on the bar. So you have edit the profile, and so I mean this line is very handy for navigation within the profile. So once you will get used to the images, and it works fast.
It does, yeah. And this is the new icon for the tree apps. Whenever you see that, it'll automatically open up tree apps. And the kind of cool thing, one of the things that Jimmy changed is the default tree app is now the fan chart. Instead of the
isn't the last one you used?
Well, it is the last one you've used, but if you haven't used one before, then the default before, and so because I'm testing a lot, I always have to clear out my cache, and so it doesn't remember what the last one. So it would default with, I think, the compact couples tree, or
no, I think dynamic tree was default because it was the first application.
Yeah. So it was like that.
Maybe this one. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But now it is the fan chart. So that makes me happy. But another reason why I have to make sure that I can get as many bugs out of it as possible. If everyone's going there, they're going to see the cracks, and I want to fix that. So there's a very quick tour, Tia, of the new site. I have checked out some of the WBE, the WikiTree browser extension, but we can talk. I can tell you that when we have our tech Zoom, our monthly tech Zoom at the last Monday of March, the new site and the WikiTree browser extension and all those things will be the priority for us talking about that. So by then all the bugs will be worked out, I'm sure.
You are very optimistic.
There won't be a single bug left in sight. Right. But again, yes, we will talk about it on this Saturday as well, the roundup. But that is not what we're here for. We're here to talk about... We're here about to ask Aleš anything. Well, I guess we asked you a bunch of stuff about the new...
This is the hot topic.
This is the hot topic. So you know what? That's okay.
It's okay if we explained a few things.
Yeah, that was good. That's good. So ask Aleš. So we want to... I've got to find your post. Let's go to the forum. Let's see. Where's your Ask Aleš post here? It's not here.
I think it's on your profile.
It's on my profile. Yes. I was right there. I was right there.
Now, use the bar, G2G comments.
Oh, there it is. G2G forum. Was there? Okay. Ask Aleš. So let's open up the March and the February in case. So did we get any new questions in February after we left?
February 5th.
A day late for the LiveCasts. I mentioned a WikiTree puzzle and another conversation. Okay. So do you remember this comment from Patty?
I think I did answer it because it came in afterwards. So
right.
It was about the URL search by DNS name. So you have to replace the dots with underscores. That's the main thing. Because that's how the indexing is done. So all separators are that are searchable are converted to underscores. So, but they don't usually they are not part of the search except in the domain name. The okay, on WikiTree ID with the minus or the quotation mark. And in the most problematic one was with the JetCom import file name, because there are always a lot of parentheses and minuses and spaces and I don't know what. And that must be concerned as a single word. So you must very carefully replace each character in the JetCom name so it's found. It's best to copy it from the profile and then just go and replace every space and underline and dot with the with underlines.
Okay. Go. That's good. Okay, so
and in other locations, separators are ignored actually. So here, if you would search for caption equals 1901, this equals is ignored. So you can just search for caption and 1901.
And you get either one.
No, both.
Oh, you get both.
Right.
Okay. So I just type caption, close down suggestions, open up search, and change Liliana to caption equals 1901. We'll just test that out. What we'll actually get is the word. Oh,
nothing.
Nothing.
Now remove the equals.
Remove the equals. And there we
will get it.
So 1901 is matching dates, I'm guessing.
It's matching everything. So you could add prefix it with template word index, and then it would search just for that part of the index.
Like this one here, I'm wondering where the 1901 is from. So if I can go to that.
Oh, it can be on many places. It can be marriage date, birthday, death date. It can be within any template. Usually it helps if you go to edit page, then it is then
there
you
it
can
is.
really.
And
this is part of template because it's colored blue. So this is searchable.
Oh, look at that.
Well, for now, all template content is indexed, although I will probably start slowly to remove it because it's becoming quite a huge part of the index. So I will remove the pointless one like formatting, where you just change the color and all text that is within the color is then indexed. So there are a few that will most likely I will exclude as a first step. But for now, you can search by content of the index.
Right.
Of the template, sorry.
So someone was born on the 22nd of March.
I don't know. It's Dutch. I don't speak it.
Well, it's. I think it's close enough to German. Geboren.
Yeah. Yes. Geboren.
And March. What other month could it be besides March?
March. No, it is March.
October. That's pretty obviously October 1976.
You're good.
Oh, well, yeah, I can do very simple language translations. Okay, so that's February covered off. Let's move on to March. One answer, Cheshire. My interest is mainly confined to the county of Cheshire in England. Looking for green cats, maybe. I don't know. I can find the page for unsourced profiles for this county at, and then link. But not a general page for the profiles which have been created, which mention the county either in the birth, marriage, or death locations. It may that there is one, would have thought that such a page would be very useful. Well, this is what WikiTree Plus is great at gathering. So using the same breakdown into date ranges as the unsourced profiles page, and then 4 sections, birth, marriage, and one or more of these. This is what I have in mind. Does this exist already? So just see there's the, that's what he was wondering about. So the page that he mentioned, and actually, who was this? Who was asking this? I didn't even give credit yet. That, oh, it's Alan. Alan, who's joined us. Sorry, Alan. I should have given you credit from the very beginning for asking this question. Sorry. Okay, so the page that he did find was this one, unsourced profiles, and there's the date categories and along the top with the columns, and then the different types, the flavors of unsourcedness, I guess. And what he's wondering about is doing something. Now, is it just unsourced profiles or all profiles of Cheshire that he wants? A general page for the
he probably wants all profiles.
I think he wants all profiles.
Ones.
That sounds interesting, but that sounds like a huge.
Yeah, I mean, this is our these tables are prepared, and also the report. So now when you click those numbers below, there is a list of 80,000 profiles with all of prepared on static pages, and that's quite some amount of wait, I have to let the dog out. Just a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Finnegan is quite happy. Just he doesn't need to go out. He's just quite happy, just hanging out. He's being lazy this morning.
Now he saw it's raining, and
oh, he didn't want to go out now.
Wants to go out.
It's not raining here. It is below freezing again and cold. Though it looks like it might get above freezing. We might get a little bit of melting soon.
So such reports are not done in advance because there's just too many contents. I mean, even now I have approximately 40 gigabytes of derived reports each week, and doing it for all profiles, it would go, the numbers would go into, I don't know, terabytes probably. So we don't do that, and I also don't intend to. But you have some possibility to do. So okay, let's share the screen.
Yeah.
And okay. Entire screen. This one, share.
Okay. Did it let you log in, or do I need to change the screen for you?
You have to show me to publish it. I can't.
Okay. Remove the other media. Okay, remove. There we go.
Okay, so let me find the Aleš. Where is it?
Yeah, all profiles. Okay, on. Thanks for clarifying that. That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to double check. Okay, April, I see that your question, and I've got that in the queue now. Thank you. And anyone else who has questions for Aleš live, or me, I guess, please put them in the queue, or start it with a. If you put a Q in front of it, then I will be able to spot it.
Okay, so basic queries for England, and let's increase the number to 500,000 probably. Okay, so we have 107,000 profile for Cheshire. And then you can do, for instance, grouping by birth date, for instance.
Nice. Okay.
Birth century. Okay, this will be a close approximation.
Yeah, that's what he was breaking it down by century. So.
No, yeah, okay, he did by my prepared groups, but okay. So then you can sort by birth century and you get the numbers for each how many profiles were in certain century. Here you have a sample 5 profiles, and if you click all, it will show you all profiles. So let's go to 4,000 profiles from 17th century. It constructs the correct query. You can then navigate those profiles or use this query and add something else to it. So you can copy. I have to take all the copy it, put this into search query, and I don't know. I just want unsourced, unconnected, for instance, and now it will find from that era
that large group
the profiles.
Nice.
Yeah, you hear the bolded part is the currently shown query, so you can always so here where it is constructed by the automatically, you can use that as the query. Although this part is kind of pointless because 17th century is enough.
Right. Yes.
But when you are searching for a location or something like that, then it this finds the actual correct profiles.
Right. I guess the difference between using just 17th century and the birth century text is the 17th century would include people born in the 16th century who died in the 17th.
No, the 17th century is constructed only based on birth date.
Only on birth. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just anyone who was alive during that.
No, for that you should use the other possibility. So we have here, if we go to dates, so you have centuries. This is based purely on birth date. But if you use decade, that one is constructed based on person being alive within that decade.
Okay.
So it's so if you have only one date entered, so only birth or death, it's only that decade included in the search. But if you have both dates, it's first and last decades and decade and all in between.
Okay. That's good to know. I did not know the distinction there.
Yeah. And you can also use the B and D prefix to actually search for the year or a day or month or whatever.
Right. And the 0 means that it's
not entered.
Not entered. Okay. So that's an easy way to find those that don't have death dates or
you just include the 0 into the search, and you'll get all profiles without that date.
Okay, excellent. So I hope that answers. Well, it doesn't give you the answer you might have wanted with a table specifically designed like that, but hopefully, Alan, it gives you the tools you need to construct it and to do this, to zoom in and to zero in on the searches that you want. So there you have it. Yeah. I suppose one could, yeah.
I mean, I could, if only the numbers are of interest, that's something I could do, but not the, I don't intend to create lists with 66,000 profiles on it.
No.
It doesn't really help.
No, it doesn't. No. I mean, I'm just looking at that, and of course, I'm thinking we could write an app that would generate that. Like if it generated the numbers and then just generated the query for each number. So if you clicked on the number, say if I clicked on the 80863 and I had the query in behind, and then it would just pop up the WikiTree Plus with that query, and then it would instead of storing all of those in a table, which is just a ridiculous amount of information, but doing the count is relatively quick. Would be quick enough for an app, right? People have a little bit more patience waiting if they know an app is building something for them in the background. At least I tell myself that.
Well, actually,
yeah, if you can get the numbers and you can create the free space page, yeah. So with the query that we just went,
well, I could make a possibility to. And because this is quite easily, as long as we are just interested in the totals, that is a quick result from querying the database.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to enter correct keywords, and it will return the result. So I could probably make such a table with then links to display those profiles actually with the live search.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Alan, Aleš might consider doing this. That would be great.
Yeah. I know. I'm thinking if it would be just for location, or maybe also for a name to do such a table. But on the left so in first rows are actually based on birth, marriage, and death locations. So this breakdown should be done together. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have the centuries actually set up by these ranges.
Oh, okay. So we'd have to use
whatever. Done. But that's maybe something. I mean, maybe it's not really a problem I have it by century, but then most of the centuries are empty except the 17, 18, and 19.
Right.
With high numbers, so but I could maybe add keywords for this grouping, so I can use it all over the place.
I mean, I like that grouping. It makes a lot of sense in way. Like,
yeah, it's in line with badges. So
that,
you do pre 1500 is really an old profile. So this is 15 to 17 is with 1500. Is okay. It's kind of logical group, and then post 1700. Actually, you need the 1700 badge for these profiles. Yeah. So it's 15 to 1700.
There's a 1500 and a 1700 badge, right? Those are the two breakpoints.
So this was the other one, and here I did it by century because these are very crowded.
Very crowded. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, totally. Yeah.
And now even the 2000 is getting populated. I remember 10 years ago, it was always empty.
Yeah, that's great.
But now we have almost a quarter of a century, actually. So,
yeah, that's right. We're a quarter of the century in. How'd that happen?
Quickly.
Just seemed it was 2000 a few days ago. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was in London celebrating the new millennium.
Oh, yes.
Me and 12 million other people on the street.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Were you worried about the millennium bug?
No.
No, neither was I.
We never used just 2 letter years.
Right.
So it was
Wasn't
not
a problem.
a problem with us.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good question, Alan. We might get some results out of that. Very cool.
Oh, yeah, but I'm very busy now with
now
Insight
don't
and everything.
tomorrow,
So
or even
maybe
next
you
week.
will need to remind me.
Okay. April has a question. She posted a comment for this week's challenge, orphan profiles. Can you explain how this report and the one you were talking about works? So the orphan profile was the
This
orphan
week's
profile
challenge. Wait, let me have a look.
I'm guessing it's the Data Doctors challenge.
Yeah,
a different challenge
most likely.
Week, right?
So we have orphan profiles, and this is the G2G. So she asked the question. April.
Can you zoom in maybe just one more level, just to make it a little easier to read? There we go. That's good. I like the new font. It's kind of nice, but it's thin font. So
I'll take on this blank page.
Maybe that was just when things were turning around. Yeah, April says that there are several comments about blank pages when you click on it. So yeah, that's what we.
So this is the space page, and if I click it, what?
Uh-oh.
It really doesn't work. Wait, let me.
Oh. We found a bug.
Well, not really.
Tia remembers the Y2K bug. Hopefully it didn't affect you, did it, Tia?
So these are suggestions. That's in profiles, suggestions, and challenge orphan 360. It's missing.
Uh-oh.
This was done on 4th.
That's okay, April.
Okay. But it was working for me. I did try it. Okay, now it works.
Oh.
I missed. I did make a mistake initially. I didn't correct the ID, the 360 number, and I corrected it afterwards. But it seems it didn't copy the files again. Okay, now it did.
Okay. So
fixed. I don't get notification from this the challenge email. EOE prepares it,
right?
So I don't get notified when someone answers it.
So those comments don't come; they don't bounce back to you.
Yeah, I don't see them. I do see comments on my challenges active line. So.
Okay.
This message I got, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't see this one, that one.
Right. Okay. So can you take us to that page and just for people who haven't or are just trying to figure out what the challenge, like to decode what's on the page there, how would you read that page? What's that information from the report? The one the report you just pulled up.
Okay, so this is the challenge itself, and here is a list of suggestions. So in this week, there are all orphan profiles, so without a manager.
Okay, it doesn't mean that they don't have parents. It means that they don't have
that means that they don't have a manager.
A manager. So it's a different type of orphan.
Yeah, they are not looked at.
They're not looked at, right? Okay.
So that's the reason for this separate challenge. So we give some attention to these profiles.
Right.
Now the table is wrong, is not looking good. This will be changed in near future, but we are still discussing how to redesign it, because before, in the old format, I did extend the table to full page width, so it went up until here.
Right.
And now it's just on the left part, and it's no longer possible to extend it full size, or maybe we will figure out something to enable that.
Okay.
But things have to cool down a bit with the
redesign first. Right. Okay.
So for now, all the cells are really tall.
Right. So if you're doing this challenge, then you would scroll down, find an error that is something that you think you can fix.
Yeah.
Because some of them are easy to do and some of them are harder to do. So you found one that you're comfortable with, and then pick an age, a date range that you're comfortable with as well. And then, so there's 16 in that specific.
We have 16 duplicate siblings. So Thomas Harry has a brother, Thomas Harry. They were both born on 25th February in Pennsylvania and died at the same day. So this is definitely merge possibility. I mean, most likely they need to merge.
Right.
You have here. Okay, you can open one and the other profile, but you can also start with the compare page, where these two profiles are compared, all the data fields, and if it's very greenish, then it's good.
Right.
It means the data is the same. So here it's slight difference. This one has Somerset, so it's a touch of red color on the green.
Oh, that's funny.
Yellow is just half just on one profile the data available. So they have the same father, same mother. Okay, that goes by the definition of the suggestion, because it lists only siblings, so they must have same parents, at least one of them, I think. And then, they have differences in children. So this the left profile doesn't have a child, the right one does. So this report is very complex, and here you can see, you can compare a whole group of people one against another. So. But here only the child was duplicated. So this is definite match based on the data. So, and then using this link, you come back to WikiTree in the merge person menu. So
and you can start the merge process.
Here you can start. It was already started for these two. So yeah, I mean, based on the comment here, merge proposed on February the 6th, so that's 1 month ago.
I see.
Probably by now it was already automatic auto-confirmed merge, so it's probably possible to merge them.
Okay. So a few follow-up questions for this. One was, what's the difference between the colors in the first column? And I think you explained that the color, when we were in the merge screen, if that's where you're talking, the green means that the data is the same between the two profiles.
Red is different. So we can see here the user ID is different completely. So these
which
are
would be
two profiles, and okay, the WikiTree ID is only partially different, so it has a touch of red in it.
they have the same last name.
Yeah.
So April also asked if they were twins. Now, twins wouldn't likely have the exact same name. So
and they wouldn't die on the same day unless they were stillborn. Yeah, I mean, there are possibilities you cannot just blindly merge them, but it's very likely that.
Right. So if you had, like, what I found a lot in my Italian research is if a child died young, the next child would be named the same. Like they kept using the name until they found one that stuck. Would they show up with this particular?
Probably not, because the date would be then if they would be both have birth dates, then it's no longer that similar name.
So the duplicate really is the same date.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know exactly what I'd compare, but maybe it says something here. No, wrong page.
Well, I imagine that's a common enough practice in many cultures that they would have, because you get that happening a lot. You get a lot of false positives if you search for just the same name in the family. So, including the date as part of the criteria.
Here is the help for the suggestion. So here in technical stuff, I usually write such details.
Public and open.
So only with both parents defined. That's so only on public and open profile, because private ones are you have a decade there as a birth date, and it's not precise enough to distinguish between siblings.
Right.
Combination of full name, birth, and death date. So if it is the birth date must be the same.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
Here, technical stuff usually contains those little details suggestions that I forget. That is mostly for me, because I forget these details, and I know here I can find them here.
That's good. Well, I'm glad you did. Well, I mean, now that you're there, I mean, it's a good for people who haven't worked a lot with the data doctors or fixing suggestions. Every single suggestion has a page like this, right?
Yep, here
it goes through all the details. So if you're a first time data doctoring or first time working on a suggestion, these pages give you a lot of information that'll help you out. And my suggestion about working with suggestions is pick one, figure out all the details about what it takes to fix it. And some of them are really simple. And then once you get comfortable with that, then move on to another one.
Usually one starts with their own suggestions.
Their own suggestions, that's right. You should clean up your own mess.
You can do that on suggestion search and go to managed by me, for instance. And you get all the suggestions. This is the starting point. So first are regular suggestions with that are most likely the problem, and they are then followed by less important ones like unique names, Wikidata, find a grave, and so on. We have 4 or 5 sections. And then the suggestions are also color-based. So red ones are errors, yellow ones are warnings, and then we have also blue ones that are more like research hints, and so in that range.
So what's the, Rhonda had a question, what's the distinction? What makes one an error and what makes one more of a warning?
Well, this one is marked as an error because there are dates on relatives. And on while the next one, dates on relatives, open profile, unknown status. So, yeah. so these two profiles are without dates. But we do have dates on the relatives, and the profile is this one has status died, which is kind of defining a profile as no longer living, while this one has no status. That means that the data just wasn't entered. So
we don't know whether they're alive or dead, and so that's
well, they most likely are if they are in this report, because private profiles are excluded from this suggestion. I think. Yeah, only open profiles are listed here for now. I mean, this was, the color was set by me once upon a time.
Yes.
I may have different guidelines to set it, but it's kind of, it has sense. Yeah, because I mean, once you set status died, no longer living, then it's already okay. I mean, it's better. This is no longer because with profiles without any date and without status is set, it's really problematic because it can get automatically locked as soon as you disconnect a parent or something like that. Because if there are no dates, it can be
it could be a living
any
person.
time. Okay. So status died is kind of considered that it is, the date is partially known, so it's not, it's no longer living. But I mean, as soon as you have dates on relatives, you can estimate the date for this person also.
And you can, even if you have no real answer, you can always put an estimate, and there's an estimated template.
You will probably get the century right, and that's better than nothing, because once you create a profile, you, for some common names like Smiths and so on, you get hundreds of possible matches, and all of them are without dates, so you have to actually go to each profile, search, see if that could be the person you are looking for, and so on. If you would have the if there are dates on profiles, then you can quickly eliminate 90% of them and just check the remaining ones.
Excellent. Okay.
And here you see this question mark everywhere, so you get to the
that opens up to the page I was talking about. Perfect. Yes.
Here the page is constructed so that first I give a brief description of the suggestion. Then I write what is in the info column, because here we have info column with all the suggestions, and it has different content depending on the error. So here is explicitly written what is in that info column. Then for some suggestions, there were videos created on how to resolve. So those are nice to watch if you have time and if you like that.
They were really well done. I really like those.
You have such videos on a few suggestions. Then we have possible causes of the suggestion and action steps on how to correct those causes. There can be multiple causes and multiple actions. I mean, but it all depends on the suggestion. Then this is a general boilerplate description of how to set statuses on the suggestions once you corrected it. And if you have further question about exactly this suggestion, so you can tag it, asking G2G with this tag, and it will get back to me and also to the page. So here, if there are additional questions asked about a certain suggestion on the help page with that tag, it is then listed here as related questions to this suggestion. So it kind of becomes part of the, the manual or tutorial. Technical stuff is backend, how I calculate, and then this is the report. So okay, this is the for the latest summary. So it will jump directly to the suggestions. So here we have it. This is for latest report, or you can use online report from WikiTree Plus, where you already get pre-filled filters. So here dates are already, the suggestion is already selected. You just click suggestions, or you can add additional keyword like Slovenia. And it will show these suggestions just for my location.
Right.
They are not all mine. Oh, none is mine.
What's that?
Not all profiles are mine.
Oh,
actually, none is mine.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not you. That's great. Excellent. Well, thank you. I think that's a really nice search.
Okay, so today we explained suggestions a bit.
Very good. Yes, that's great. Anne has a question, and she says, I know this is an old question, but where on WikiTree Plus can I see the changes of the counties, for example, Upper Canada, Lower Canada, and the time periods that they exist? So,
report of country reports.
I think so. I think it's the country
report. It is linked. Okay. I just write. I go here and I write WT country. No. Okay.
Table countries.
Show table. So show table, this is a generic function that shows all sorts of table within WikiTree Plus, and one of the table is countries. I'm sure there is a link to this page somewhere on WikiTree.
Yes.
But
we keep forgetting where it is.
Well, actually, I could use WikiTree Plus to find it.
Yeah, I was thinking.
So let's search for page by content, and it should contain a link to this. Cool, it's on each report somehow. Did I ever enter it correctly? Yeah, table equals countries. So the link exists on all these pages. Okay, here it is. No, this is the different suggestions, status. Okay, here is an example of link.
Okay.
So it's here. I mean, it is on quite a few places, but I don't really remember where is the official one.
Okay.
These are on reports when I probably created the table. These are suggestions that need. So it seems that on all location suggestions that are related to this table, there is a link to it. So in technical part.
Okay.
So that technical part is key to everything. And it's copied in a few other places. So on location suggestions, you have the access to this table, and I just lost it now.
Oh.
But I did found it. Okay, let's reopen. Closed up. Okay, so this table contains this is my location table based on which I do all the location recognition and so on. So here all endings of the location that I recognize are, so for instance, I treat it as Belgium, all these 4 forums at the end of location. So this is German. I have some comments. For instance, this one is German, Belgian, French. I mean, I don't, and English. So these are all acceptable for forums because Belgium is multilingual country and they do recognize all these spellings as correct one. You can also see this based on the number of profiles using each forum. So this is Belgian and English and French, I think. So these are very commonly used because quite a sizable part of Belgium is French speaking. So these are all official location, and part is also German speaking. So those are that, and that helps in a way that if you search for Belgium English forum, it will find all these forums. Even if you Belgium is not actually entered as a location, it will still find the Belgi writing as Belgian profiles. So
yeah,
this is quite an important thing, I think, also for the different writings of Bulgaria, for instance, in Cyrillic. Those are automatically found. Now, for instance, if we search for Bulgaria, we will see also locations with, here was the show table. Search for Bulgaria. We will most likely get profiles where it is written in Cyrillic.
Oh, in Cyrillic, yeah.
Yep.
Default page size?
This one is not. Let's go previous. Turkey.
Do we have a lot of Cyrillic users?
Yeah.
No, Slovenia doesn't use the Cyrillic alphabet, does it?
No. No, but we learned it in school.
Do you really?
Yes, because we were part of Yugoslavia and Serbia used Cyrillic, so we did have to learn it.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, it's not. Now I will. So now we'll find all the recognized profiles with Bulgaria that don't have English version used. Okay, here they are.
There we go.
It's 200 of them. So it's really cool that this is recognized as Bulgarian profile.
That is very cool. Very cool.
So this is one of the intent of this location table. I have different spellings. Then the other intent is this number in the third column.
The time frame.
No, this is actually a suggestion. Accepted. So if it's accepted spelling, so this is defined by the project. These three are okay, and this one is not. Although I do recognize it, but it's not really official. It shouldn't be used.
Okay.
And then the additional thing that can be in this column is the number, a number. And this means that so if the location is D, only D at the end, it will report it as a suggestion.
Okay.
So with this info, so abbreviation is used. We shouldn't use abbreviations on WikiTree, except UK and US is allowed, I think, and USA. Those three kind of, we agreed they are okay.
So but, what UK, USA, and...
Well, actually, no, UK isn't.
UK isn't?
No, just the US is.
So US and USA. Or USA?
Yeah, I mean, we have 10 million profiles with US, so I don't intend to bother anyone by correcting 10 million profiles. You can, if you see it and you're editing the profile, you can write it out, but I will never consider that an error. No. But here for 3,000 German profiles that use Deutschland, they should be corrected.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. So the specific thing that, so look in Germany there. If you, I think, stay there. Well,
yeah, okay, we can go on detail. Then here I get detail just for Germany. So now only German is reported. These are all German, but we have, we have a few that are just Germany. These are most likely in different time frames defined in these two columns. And then we also have a separation by region. So this is Nassau, Germany, or different German regions, Bayern, Germany. And then here I have a few spellings that are allowed. So the ones with the S are allowed, with no are not official, but I do recognize them. Occasionally, this will get changed to the number when the project will say, oh, we want to correct the ones that have only Bavaria in the location. I will just change this to a number and they will have full report that they can work on. But since there are so many at the moment, I just have noticed that it's not official, but it's recognized. So this one is mixed language, Bavaria, Deutschland. That can't be. Either it's German or English.
I'm going to share my screen briefly to answer the specific question that Anne had. Okay, I have to remove that one.
Okay.
So her question was specifically about Lower Canada and Upper Canada. And that
okay, I could show that.
So, and I know you could, I just had it right here. So I just, so choosing North America first, then Canada, and then here's the breakdown. And the other thing that along with the spelling, it also gives you time frames. So Canada East, which is now known as Quebec. That title was officially in use from 1841 to 1867, and Canada West, which is now Ontario, the same sort of time period. But before that, it also went by Lower Canada, and there's an overlap. So for 41 to 67, you could either call it Canada East, or you could call it Lower Canada, or you could have called it Bas Canada, which is, I guess it's
somewhere.
There it is. It's there. Lower.
It's actually in that group. So if you search for region Lower Canada, you will find also Bas Canada.
That's right. There we go. So So it's just considered an alternate spelling of that official name. So that's where, and you can see the specific breakdowns.
Oh, and you can also turn on histogram.
Oh, where's the histogram?
At the top.
The top. Show your histograms. Oh, that's cool. Oh, look at that.
And now go back to those regions. Okay. And now here you have each forum that is in that was entered. You have the dates when that forum is used.
Nice. Okay, so let's go down to there's
so
Canada.
Here, if you stop here, East Canada. So you see the part of the column have colored background. So here, and those are the date range that is defined as acceptable.
So these ones here.
This one are this is used on now. If you hover, you get a hint on the there. and you will see which year and how many profiles, and they use this location in for a death in 19th or 20th century.
Right.
So here you can see how accurate the entry is.
That's
Entering
pretty good.
data is. It often matches like this, so it's completely just a jump, and data is clear. But then there are some regions where it's not precisely defined or overlaps, and there you have all sorts of merges over the, all over the place. The data goes all over the place then.
So this is interesting. So Bas Canada was could be used up till Confederation 1867, but it had this other title, the Lower Canada, that came in. So you can see the drop off here. This is 1841. So some people switched to the other name. Many Quebecois kept the French name, the Bas Canada, because that's what they were used to and that's what they liked. And they didn't want the government telling them that they're different. So they kept that.
Okay, but these locations depend on the person who was entering the profile. So
that's right. Yeah, that's true.
It's not actual picture of the time.
I kept using Bas Canada because I like that better than Canada Est myself. So there you go.
Well, as long as the project is okay with that, it can stay that way. If at some point they decide that it's really wrong to use that in that time frame, then you will correct those.
then I'll correct them.
Like UK before 1800 and so on.
That's right. That's very cool. Love the histograms. There we go. Thank you for that question. Okay.
There are some, you can also here, if you have in the sixth column, you have location breakdown and spelling variation links, which are also interesting to look at.
Spelling variations, let's see.
So this does try to search for typos.
Oh, see, it's supposed to, Canada West in French, that's is spelled with an O. But I can see some people mistook it for a Q.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It was 21 times like that.
Wow.
So they had a quest in Canada.
They had a quest. They had a quest. Oh, you know what? I'm sure this was a non-French speaker who saw that word and thought, oh, that doesn't make sense. That must be a QU. Like they thought there was a Q. They thought it was a Q. That's very funny.
And if you click the number, you get to the profiles that are using that exact location. So, actually, it's Quest, Quebec, Canada. It's a place name.
Oh, so it's not
so it's not really an error. I mean,
that's interesting. Canada. Oh, is it just? It's matching the word Canada, and it's
Barnston Quest and Canada. So that's the query.
So you'd mark that as a false.
No, it's not a report. It's just a research.
Oh, okay. It's not
an error.
It's not an error, right?
For the ones that I defined an error, I did put some exceptions like Quest. I wouldn't report Quest because
no, you wouldn't have thought
that. It is an actual place. Obviously, in Canada.
Look at that, Barnston Quest. I've never heard of Barnston Quest, but
well, now you did.
Now I know.
So this is one part, and the other one is the location breakdown. If you go back to pages,
location breakdown.
And this one does now you went on this on 5 profiles. Take a bigger sample.
Cornwall.
That's not go back and take a bigger one.
Oh, take a bigger one.
Okay. The first one with 60,000. Okay. Yeah, okay. This one has 28,000 locations, and now here you have location Canada East, and then you have left part of the location and the right part.
Ah, yes.
So what did people write next to Canada East? Then last two columns are if I recognize that as a country and region. So here you can see some problems in algorithms or in entering location and so on. I often use this to improve things. So you get a full report like this. Now there are a lot of ones in the report or twos because it's just unique location spelled like that.
Right.
At the top you have, if you go to the top of the table, you have here smaller report and even smaller report. So it will remove ones and twos and threes. So you will get just the most frequent used location combinations. So
nice.
Here you can then see which one is used.
Significant ones, yeah.
Significant, yeah. And there are two more links at the top, and one is to analyze just the left part or just the right part of the location. So then you get grouping just by left part of Canada East.
Right.
Right one. So this here you can see what. So British colonial America is something
that's an issue
we should get rid of. But it's a relatively small, well, actually, yeah, it's a relatively small number, 200 profiles out of 27,000.
Yes, that's definitely not the right time frame for candidate.
No, I think British colonial is not okay in any time frame.
Right. So it's British North America? Is that the correct one?
No, yeah, it seems by the numbers, it seems so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not.
I think you're right. I mean, that's
you should contact the project about details, but I think it's that way.
I'm pretty sure it is British North America. That's what we always learned it as.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, okay. If you're just joining us now and was wondering, we actually started at 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So we promised that we would go past 10, so then people who joined at 10. And now we've succeeded in that.
And if you joined later, you can start at the beginning, and you will see a few things about the new site design. So first half hour we spent just on that.
That's right. There we go. So we spent half an hour on the new site design, and now we spent pretty much a full hour on WikiTree Plus. So we've covered all the bases. Did you want to talk about other things?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you everyone who's joined us. John's just joining us now. Hi, John, from Ireland. Because John's time hasn't changed.
Europe didn't change.
Europe hasn't changed. It's time clock, so. Anyways, thank you to everyone who came here. Thank you, Aleš, for everything that you do. And always great getting together with you in person at Roots Tech. Hope we can continue to do that in the future. And there's Judy. Hey there, Judy. Someone else we met in person.
Yeah.
Roots Tech. So if you do have questions, you can keep adding questions or comments to the G2G post that Aleš made for this month. And just like this time, we look at the previous month to see if there's other questions added in the March one. And then, of course, we'll answer those as well as the ones to the April G2G post that Aleš will post in time. As far as I know, the first Wednesday of April should be fine for me. And so we'll be back to the first Wednesday of April, and it will be 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And
I think by then also Europe will change the time.
You'll be in daylight time as well.
I think we have 2 weeks overlap.
Right.
So it's always problem there.
That's great. Excellent. And if you do have questions about the new redesign, I'm going to talk about it on the roundup on Saturday. And then we'll be doing a deep dive on the new redesign plus the WikiTree browser extension on the last Monday of March for our regular tech Zoom meeting. So please plan to join us in one of those 2 times. And we'll see you in a month, Aleš. And
Bye.
have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming.